Yeah, man. Time is up. Time is up. Week 1 is upon us. It's been a long, long journey. A super long journey. 11 months since we've seen Dak play football. The whole nine, but the 2021 season is less than 24 hours away, guys. 24 hours away. Huh. Can you contain yourself? Are you going to be able to sleep tonight? Is this Christmas Eve football wise for y'all, Mariella?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm supposed to work.
Oh snap! Oh, see, I'm off. I'm off. Spoonie, me and Spoonie are in the clear. Oh Lord, you got to work. Oh, good luck. Good
Yeah,
luck.
yeah. Let's see how that
Spoonie. Spoonie. Marvel says you're going to say at the end of the day 100 times tonight. What you think?
You said again?
Marvel says you're going to say at the end of the day 100 times tonight. What you think?
101 times. At the end of the day, they go
Yeah.
one.
Oh man, yeah, man. Whew, man, we were talking right before we came on. I was like, boy, seeing Dak back on the field, I'm a 43-year-old man. All right. Okay. Keep it a buck, right? When I see Dak out there lining up behind center, our guys back, the leader, man, just a lot of emotions. I'm like, I shouldn't be that emotional. But boy, I already know I am. I already know I am. My guy Shane's in the business. I won't be able to sleep tonight because I'll be up feeding my 4-month-old. Well, you ain't going to sleep tomorrow night because the Cowboys are going to Tampa. We're going to try to go out there and silence those cannons. Yeah. Jesse's in the building as well. Real quick, Joseph's in the building as well. I got Joshua Parker. Actually, he's in town. Happy birthday, Joshua Parker. He's going to be at the office, a.k.a. Buffalo Wild Wings, tomorrow night. My guy Shane, Nucci Gang Main's in the building. Let me go. Dre the Great, I see you in here as well too, my guy. Appreciate you. Bang, bang, Star Gang. All right, guys. All right. Some of the emotion aside, some things like that. I got Tyson as well. What's good? All right. Let's get to the real brass tacks of some of the things that we want to talk about.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's get to it. Day one, A1. What is the number one thing that you're looking for this Cowboys team to accomplish offensively in this Bucs game? Spoonie, what you got? Number one thing you want to see this team accomplish?
I want to see rhythm. I want to see some of the things that we didn't see in preseason, even for a series. I just want to see rhythm. I want to see Dak be smooth. I want to see Dak throw some balls. I want to see moving the chains. Second and goal, first down. I want to see that. I want to see a nice drive.
Mariella, one thing you're looking for this Cowboys offense to accomplish in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I mean, we've all talked about it multiple times on this show and this offseason that we want the offense to start faster. They had a tendency to start slow last season, whether it was because of penalties or play calling or turnovers. They started very slow, and that was part of the reason why we got dug in a hole. So, yeah, I want to see them start fast. I want to see them come out aggressive. We talked about that first down run. I don't want to see a lot of those coming out the gate. I want to see some aggressiveness. And I think if we start off like that, that's going to get the defense hype and give them some great momentum.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to back door and kind of co-sign a little bit of what both of y'all said about this offense. One of the few games here, I don't want the ball first, second half, guys. I ain't what I want. I ain't what I'm looking for. I want to see, and usually I am that kind of guy. I'm like, hey, man, let's defer. Let's get that ball to the offense first, second half. Let's get to cooking. I want the ball first for the Cowboys come tomorrow night. I want them to get out there. This is, and to me, the one thing that I want to see, all right, Kellen Moore, you got the extension. You're still here. All the pieces of the offense haven't been here collectively. It's up to you to game plan and call this right and get us out the gates and get us moving and get us to that fast start that Mary just talked about. And that's what we need to get to, is what we need to get after. So I'm looking at you, Kellen Moore, to get us going. But I unequivocally believe in the first one or two plays, there's going to be a good old play action. And that's going to pull that Joker, almost cuss. We're not cussing this year, guys. We're going to keep it clean. Try not to cuss. and pull it out of Zeke.
We've been reformed, guys.
Yes, we've been reformed. Okay, going into season 3 for me, Mary and Spoonie, we are reformed. We have been born again, so we're going to try not to cuss as much. All right, it cost us a lot of money last year to donate, so we're going to try not to do it. And I think he's going to turn around and just air one out. And I think that's going to send a signal to the Bucs defense coordinator Todd Bowles, like, hey, you can't just sit on Zeke. Hey, he's ready to go. The shoulder's ready. And you're going to protect all of the field with the weapons that we have. I want to see that early. I want to see him get up tempo and get into rhythm. Let's go to the other side. One thing that you want to see from the defense starting out here going to Tampa. And Mary, I'll start with you this time.
I mean, same thing. I want to see some aggression. I want to see them blitz and put some heavy pressure on Tom Brady. We all know that with any QB, putting pressure on them, they're going to be more likely to make mistakes. But Tom Brady, he's never been a mobile guy. He's never been, fast or athletic or anything like that. But he's gotten older, and it's even that much harder now for him. So we need to get some pressure up the middle, get up the sides. We need to blitz, just come out aggressive.
Spody, one thing you were looking for this defense, man? Unmute yourself, Spoon. Spoon.
Okay. You're muted.
You're muted, Spoon. Unmute yourself, Spoon. Hey man, first show you ain't ready yet. Come on, Spoon.
It's anxiety. I want to see Tom Brady get rattled. I want to see 3 and outs. I want the defense to get confidence. I want to see the announcers say this kid Michael Parsons is something else. I want to see Mike Evans go for a pass. And Trayvon Diggs, the future Pro Bowler, come out there and say, hey, it's my time. This is my game, my house. I'm taking over this ship. I want to see the commentators eat their words of everything they've been saying throughout this whole week. I want to see nothing but praise for this Dallas Cowboy defense, for everybody to understand we're going to be a problem. We are going to be a problem for this offense. That's what I want to see.
That part. And as my guy Sandberg Tom did said, unleash Weapon X, man. Exactly. That's what I call it, Weapon X. Yeah, man. That's the big unknown going into this because we don't know what this defense truly is going to be like. We got glimpses, right? We got glimpses in preseason. We saw the moving of Micah, right? We saw the big nickel at times. And for those that don't know, big nickel playing with 3 safeties in your nickel set on defense. We saw some stunning. We saw some blitzing from time to time. So we saw a lot of different things. So just like this offense coming together, we want to see this defense come together. But we kind of know what Kellen Moore is, though. We know what Dan Quinn was before here, but it's a new day. And he's talked about evolving his defense. And I'm right there with Mary. I appreciate this last night with my guy, Big Game James. And I'm right there with you, Spoonie, as well. What did John Cena first come into the WWE and say? Ruthless aggression. That's what I want to see from this defense. Ruthless aggression. There are certain quarterbacks that you can play bend, don't break. They'll give you some candy, and you can do well that way. Tom Brady's not that guy.
Yeah.
If you sit back and you want to play bend, don't break, Tom Brady's going to slice and dice you up. That's just what's going to happen. So for me, it has to be aggressive. And the key, as Mary said perfectly, it has to be pressure up the middle. The book's written on Brady, guys.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. It's no somebody's got to pass you a note to understand. We've seen it time and time again. The way to get to Brady is up the middle, touch him up, and you can have success. Now, that's easier said than done. And what we have to find out about this Cowboys defense is, can they provide that ruthless aggression and provide that pass rush up the middle to push him back and then let D-Law and Gregory go. But I tell you what, guys, I am super excited about that young Lion. The Lion's always hungry, right? And that's what Michael Parsons said. And, man, to see him unleash for an entire game, I am almost excited to see that as much as I am to see that back on the field. I am supremely ready to see that. What's going on, Michael Richardson? I see you in the building. E. Cush is in the building as well. What's good? How's it going? As always, longtime OG. My guy Mark Kenders in the building. I saw you earlier. OG watcher as we're heading to our 3rd season. Our new guy, Professor O, will be on here shortly. He's running a little bit late. We're happy for him to come along for the ride for his 1st season with us. And we'll get to that in a little bit. So Zach Martin. A lot made about Zach Martin. Let's kind of cover that because it's official now, right? There was this idea of, well, if he can pop 2 negative tests, he can go, he can play. Official. We're done with that talk. He's not going to play. Not ideal, but boy, Collins is playing. And for me, the thing I looked at it and I said was this. I don't want either one to miss, but if one has to miss, let it be Zach instead of Collins. Give me Conor McGovern over Terrence Terrence Steele, right? Give me that guy.
Yeah.
Now, for me, and let me ask y'all, a lot of people just gave up right then and there. Zach's not playing. No way the Cowboys can win. Mary, are you of the same mind frame of, well, Zach's not here, there's just no way we can overcome that?
No, obviously it's a huge loss because I was way more worried about Collins not being able to play. And then when it came out, okay, he's good, he's gonna practice. I was feeling a little bit better because like you said, I'd much rather Zach Martin miss than Lyle Collins because even though Martin can play right tackle, they don't want to move him there unless they really have to. So it'd be like we're exposed there a lot because we've all talked about we don't like our backups there. So yeah, it sucked. I made a post on Twitter like, no, why Zach? Why? But yeah, I think Conor McGovern, he got some good experience last season. And I think he can be obviously not up to the same level as Zach Martin, but I think he can be serviceable and it will be a good test for him, definitely.
Yeah, and the thing about Conor McGovern is he's probably a starter on 15 other teams in this league, right? And we even saw the Cowboys toy with Connor Williams at center just to get McGovern to be able to play and just have the best 5, right? So there was that as well. And of course, we heard the trade stuff. Real quick, our guy O's in the building. Matt O.
What's up? Sorry I'm late, guys.
Hey, life happens. It is what it is. So right now, currently, we're talking about the Zach Martin debacle. He's completely out now. Okay, he's done. All right. And, a lot of Cowboys Nation got on this bandwagon of, well, if Zach ain't playing, we can't win. Right. Professor O, do you subscribe to that or are you not subscribing to that?
No, I'm not subscribing to it. Obviously, it hurts. You're losing an all-pro guard. Not going to dodge around and pretend it's not a big loss. However, McGovern can hold his own. He's a guy that we have high expectations and we think he's a, future starting guard for us most likely next year. Most of the fans think that. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and get him out there. It's not like he didn't go against some good players last year when he wasn't. So, and then at the same time, I know we talked about it in the channel, but if we have to choose between Martin being out and Collins being out, McGovern is a much closer. And granted, Martin's an all-pro. I'm not dismissing him. I'm just saying there's a closer gap between him and McGovern than there is between Collins and any of our swing tackles. And that's more of a statement about our backup tackle depth than it is our guard discrepancy there. So yeah, it's going to hurt not having him, but it's football. This happens. Players get injured.
Right. Players
have personal things come up. People get sick. It's life. You got to move on and next man up. And if you're going to do it, let's beat the champs with them.
Right. And Spoonie, I know you're the most supreme next man up. So I can't wait to hear you about this Zach Martin and we can't win nonsense we got from Cowboys Nation this week. Yeah, I know what side you're riding with.
Oh, listen. Conor McGovern is going to show the world why teams wanted to ask for if he was available for a trade. It's like you said, BJ, he will be starting on 31 other teams. At the end of the day, we are not. This is not a situation. It's almost like a situation like Jason Garrett, where we had lost Tyron Smith and that got sacked 6 times, and the coaching staff at that time didn't prepare for it, even after halftime. We have a very good coaching staff. Mike McCarthy has coached teams where he has lost players on the offensive side of the ball, especially at the line. And he did what he had to do to overcome it. I feel the same way about this football team. Conor McGovern will be all right. He'll do a solid job. I'm not going to say he's going to be an all-pro his first game, but as like Professor O just came out and said, he's a future starter. This is the type of game where we're going to see what this kid's really about, and they really feel that good about him. That's why they didn't ever trade him. So, and again, I do agree. I'd rather Zach Martin be out than Tyron Smith and that right tackle spot. Is not the place behind him is not that. It doesn't make us feel that good about it. So
Yeah,
I think we'll be fine in that guard spot.
Which intriguing question here. Intriguing question. Our guy Becca says, which one has the worst depth? Is it center or tackle?
Oh, that's easy for me. It's easy for me.
Go right ahead.
It's center. We don't have depth at center, so it has to be center. We literally don't have anybody else who can do it, so it has to be center.
I mean, Conor will go over there. He might have been to step the ball, but he'll be there. Mary, you're like, Conor, get him out of there.
I can't watch it again. I can't do it.
We'd have to do all the snaps like not in shotgun if Conor Williams has to play center. It has to be all from underneath center at that point. But yeah, I mean, currently as it stands, yeah, I mean, Matt, you said it. We don't have a backup center, so that technically, if you will, shout out to Vinning Cowboys fans. My guy, Superman from the Cowboys group, Eller. I almost call him Eller. Why not call him Eller? Elazar Mendoza said he penciled in McGovern for starter at left guard before the season. He says, I'm good with him at right guard. Lil has me concerned. Let's hope he's good to go, right? Let's hope he's good to go.
And to his point, too, sorry to jump in. To his point, the Cowboys wanted to do that, right? That's why they wanted to move Conor Williams to center. The Cowboys see him as a caliber guard. So
they're one of their best 5 out there, and he's on. Yeah, right. So that's where you're at. Your rookie, Farnock from Nebraska, and we'll just kind of have to wait and see, how that kind of plays out and do certain things. Colin says Vita Vea is going to okay. All right, bro. Our guy calling from Puerto Rico, shout out to him on the 151 a little early, apparently. So let's pivot off of that. Outside of that, injury-wise, obviously Gallimore's, but we knew going into this Gallimore was going to be out, right? We knew that. Mm-hmm. Fairly healthy. Pretty good. What position worries you most? Offensively or defensively here, guys. What position worries you the most heading into this Tampa Bay game? And Professor, I'll start with you.
So outside of the positions we talked about, it has to be cornerback still, just because it's such an unknown. I mean, yeah, it has to be because none of the fans are excited about Anthony Brown. We all know kind of what he is at this point. We didn't really see Jordan Lewis much. He missed a lot of camp. We saw a little bit in preseason. We all like Kennedy, but we know that right now he's not in the top 3 in the pecking order. And then Diggs, obviously, this is the guy we're most excited about, but he played 10 games last year. So cornerback, until we see it, we have to say that it's an area of concern. There's guys to be excited about, right? Like we have Boss Man. He's not going to be there week 1.
Right.
We have Wright and guys like that we think we can develop. But in terms of like day one lining against those 3 wide receivers, and then not to mention they have Scotty Miller as their 4th wide receiver who can take the top off of defense, cornerback's definitely an area of concern still.
Right. Spoonie, position you're worried about the most?
I'm more PO is definitely cornerback. Like I said, that's where the most inexperience is at. You got when you have Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin,
who could be hobbled like Godwin. Yeah, Chris Godwin could be hobbled.
Yeah, because Brown's now with a knee injury as well. So
okay, and you also got Gronkowski, and I forgot the other talent, his name from Bama.
OJ Howard.
Yeah, OJ Howard. Thank you. It's too many weapons out there. So, and they're going to test that secondary a lot more. You definitely can see that. But that's the key of getting to Brady so we won't have an issue. But that's the most position.
Okay, so y'all both corner. See, I'm not on cornerback. Mary, are you on cornerback as well? Is that your position?
No.
Okay, what's your position?
I mean, if I'm going to say defense, it's going to be the defensive line because that's where we're going to win the game, period.
Right. Facts. Talk to them.
If we can't get to Tom Brady, if we can't stop the run, we're going to lose. It doesn't matter what our corners do, period. So that's what we're about. And it's very unknown, honestly. It's still unknown too. We like what we've seen so far, but it's still pretty unknown and we need to see it. We need to see it actually happen, and they can tear us apart if that D-line can't get pressure or sacks.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. And more specifically, I'm going to go right to defensive tackle. I'm going to even zero in on that. Look, Anthony Brown is a veteran in this league. Jordan Lewis is a veteran in this league, right? And we do know, Diggs is going into year 2, but we like where his trajectory is, right? We do like that. Osa and pick a guy, Urban, Osa Urban, Osa Watkins, Osa Bohana. Who am I missing at defensive tackle, guys? Who am I missing there? Am I missing anybody?
I mean, it depends on what you classify Golston. If he's a DT or DN, but I think they have him at defensive end. So
Okay, is he going to play? Is he going to play though?
probably not. No, probably
Right,
not.
right. So I'm just saying.
And then we have
those-
Justin Hamilton on the practice squad, so he can be.
He
a
could come
call-up
up, right? He could come up. So, but again, we haven't seen it. I mean, Osa's a rookie. We got to wait and see how that's going to happen, right? And we're talking about Urban, and we know what Urban is. He's a run stopper, which we need help there. We know that, but he's not a pressure guy per se. So when we get to look into those things, and we're talking about how to beat Tampa Bay, it's about that pressure up the middle. Can these defensive tackles provide that push and get that pressure? Now, we can do some things via the blitz and whatnot to help battle that. But again, on the backside of that, on the run side, we got to see if they can stop the run, though, too. You know, they have Ronald Jones, right? They have Leonard Fournette, high draft pick. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl. So, you know, Gallimore being missing this game, you know, hurts us more than I think a lot of people are talking about. And look, again, it's easy to say for us, hey, get pressure up the middle, guys. The book's out on Brady, but it's much harder to, you know, make that happen. And we got to wait and see. Look, and I don't disagree about the cornerback position with you and Spoonie, Matto, but man, that defensive tackle scares me a little bit more right now, because if we're not able to stop the run and they're not able to get pushed, they have to help the cornerbacks, right? Is what I look at. And if we're not able to do that, man, it could become a very long night.
Right. And when you're talking about the defensive tackles getting interior pressure, I think when we say that, we're all expecting that to all come from Osa. That's pretty unfair for a rookie to say, hey, Super Bowl champs, you have to be the guy to do it, because the other three are more run stoppers. And then I think it's going to be Watkins. It'll be interesting to see if they go with Urban and Watkins, especially with Watkins being out with COVID, but being back now. I feel like that's who they're going to go with, just because they kind of tipped their hand in preseason and training camp. Watkins got all the number one reps to start out. They, you know, mixed in Urban a little bit. I think they like him being able to get up and knock the ball down and get his hands up. And I think they see Urban more as a run stopper, but it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Yeah. I don't think Watkins is a guy who's going to get a lot of pressure on them anyways. So yeah, we're asking basically Osa right now because Gallimore's out.
Right. And again, that's kind of scary. You know,
that's where that linebackers come in play though, you know, with those A gaps
and the other thing that we don't know about this defense, like how much of this base are they going to do? What's the base going to be? Is the base going to be 3-man fronts with 4 linebackers? And you can do some things, right? And that's kind of the fun side of us opening up week 1 is we're not real sure what this is. We go back to before you got here, Matto. There's been glimpses here and there of things that we're going to do. They didn't give a lot of tape. The one thing for sure that this coaching staff decided with Hard Knocks there in preseason, we're just not going to give you tape. It's not going to happen.
I will say this too, because when I was looking through things earlier today, I mean, Atlanta was pretty much as bad as we were last season as far as their defense goes. And week 15, they shut them out for the whole first half. They shut out the Bucs for the whole first half. So, I mean, it's not impossible. You know, it's something that, you know, obviously I don't know about shutting them out, but it's not impossible to slow them down. We can definitely do it. And I feel like, even though it's a lot of unknown, I feel like we're still going in there better than we were last year, and most likely better than what the Falcons were last year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's factual, you know, and now, you know, for us going in there, it's all the pageantry, right? They're going to have the cannons firing, right? They're giving away the rings and everything. And sometimes you kind of catch somebody, you know, a little bit of a lull because everything's going on, even though they retained all their starters. It's Brady at quarterback. Some of those things happen. And the one thing I want to kind of stress, then we're going to break down some other matchups and what we want to talk about as well, is this, though. Win or lose here, if we were to go back and see this team in the playoffs, we'll be completely different teams by then. Mm-hmm. So even though it's week 1 and everything else, let's not get too high or too low no matter what happens, because there's still the ultimate objective at hand. And once again, remember, if we see them again, it won't be the same thing from week 1. Factual. Okay. You know, one of the things I want to get into as well. But with that being said, let's flip over here to some of these matchups and let's kind of talk about the Bucs a little bit, right? So we kind of talked about the wide receivers somewhat. Goodwin could be a little hobbled. We'll wait and see. Obviously, Mike Evans is that guy, right? We know what he's done. Antonio Brown, you know what he done. Our guy Tux down there in Tampa getting it in. He'll be at the game tomorrow night. The man said, yeah. Cheers, my brother. He is 7 drinks in already. It is what it is. And we've kind of talked about these cornerbacks are going to have to go up against them. Let's talk about the safeties a little bit, guys, in this matchup and how a good safety can kind of help you on that back end, right? So we're looking at KZ and Donovan Wilson being the starters, and you're going to mix in some Curse and some Hooker possibly, right? Maybe some big nickel, Professor O. Do you think big nickel's going to – we've seen that sporadically somewhat in preseason. Do you think big nickel's something they're going to lean on when we get into this game?
Not this game. I think they may show a little bit of it, mostly just because, the advantage of having the big nickel is to get that size matchup when you're playing a team with an athletic tight end who might line up in the slot. Like when you're playing Kansas City, you're playing Atlanta, playing those. They got
Gronk and OJ Howard.
I know they have Gronk and OJ Howard, but they're going to play a lot of 3 wide. And I don't necessarily want Curse or Hooker lined up one-on-one with them. Maybe in certain looks, in certain situations, like especially when you get closer to the red zone. But I don't foresee a lot of it week 1. I do think we're going to see quite a bit of it throughout the season because we're playing a lot of teams that have tight ends that can move. But not every team has 3 legit wide receivers like this, and it makes it a little bit tougher to go to that big nickel look.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. My guy says, shout out to my guy Steve says, let's not judge the team on opening game. Thank you very much. Appreciate that for the good point. Also, Cowboys fan talking about Mr. Rome. Mr. Rome, what's going on, Mr. Rome? Spoonie, right? As we're pivoting over here, and you've been, look, for anyone's listening a long time, we know Mr. Spoonie's Mr. Safety in the building. With these safeties, they're going to be back there. Maybe does that help you a little with the cornerback? How do you feel about these safeties and what they're going to be lining up and doing? Are you looking for big nickel? What are you looking to see here?
Well, I'm looking for the story that BJ has been saying for the past 3 years. The same story about covering the middle of the field and how much effective can that be for this defense and how much it can hurt Tom Brady because he is not a guy who can run out the pocket. Mm-hmm. When you cover that middle of the field, you got to look elsewhere and outside the marks. That's the whole key thing. And when you got guys like Kazi who plays the ball, he plays the ball. That's why we brought him in here for turnovers. That's what makes the secondary much better and prepared for a guy like Tom Brady, especially when he cannot run out that pocket. BJ, the middle of the field. We've been talking about Mary.
Got to lock it down
for the past couple of years, and we finally have it. Middle of the field.
Middle of the field. Yeah, I mean, and of course, we know Professor O's big, his big bowl prediction, KZ for the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
Still
sticking with it. Still
I love it. Hey, man, and the Cowboys should love it as well too. Marry these safeties. Look, we have talked going to our 3rd season, man. We have talked a ton about safeties. Is this the best you've ever felt about safety going into week 1?
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I know Spoonie had his heart set on a few more that I will not name.
Yeah, fair. We won't crank that up. There's a lot of different routes that we talked about.
But yeah, I mean, years we went into it with Jeff Heath. Years we went into it with the number 25. I won't mention his name either. And I definitely feel much better about the guys this year. I mean, they're hard hitting, got some hands, way more comfortable, way more. I think maybe not immediately, but once they start to get comfortable, because, a lot of them didn't get to practice as much in preseason and all of that. But I feel like once they get into their groove, it's really going to start to show.
Yeah. And my guy Colin says Malik Hooker should be starting. I mean, it's going to be a process, man. He got here late. You got to work him in, get him to the right way. You might see him get more playing time, as the season goes along. But right now, it's just not going to be his time to do those things. The tight ends, though, we kind of talked about. I just brushed on them. Gronk and OJ Howard, which OJ Howard's kind of been up and down, right, over there with them. It's not been this ultimate weapon that a lot of people are in love with. But Gronk can still get things done. Are we? Here's what I would say, right? You got Neal at linebacker, right? I don't think we'll see a lot of Cox personally. I know a lot of people were talking about Cox. We've seen it. I don't think we'll see a lot of Cox. Are you comfortable with Neal in the matchup if that's what it comes down to versus a tight end? Spoonie, how do you feel with, or do we have to drop a safety on him? Do you think Neal can get the job done on Gronk, or do you think we need to get a safety down there on him? Like, you got to unmute yourself, though, brother. It's a new year. You're not ready yet.
I'm sorry about that. I think Keanu Neal could do a very good job on that was pretty much what he was doing in Atlanta. He played about 40% of the same position at linebacker and some at safety, and that was the one thing that Quinn was saying as far as what he offers for this team. He could be able to cover like another a safety playing the linebacker position. So I really do feel comfortable with him on Gronkowski or another tight end if it needs to be there.
Owen, what are you thinking here? Are you thinking safety or linebacker that you want to use? OJ Howard, I'm not really concerned. First and foremost, real quick, just yes or no. Anybody really concerned about OJ Howard in this game?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Okay, me either. Okay.
Honestly, until you said his name, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. So let's talk about Gronk and if they want to try to isolate him and do some things with him. What are you thinking here for the Cowboys and Dan Quinn? Are you thinking you're going to run him with the linebacker? Or are you thinking about safety here?
Yeah, like I said, with their 3 wide receivers being as good as they are, I feel fine putting Neal in coverage with them, Parsons, whoever has to be in coverage. And again, Gronk at this point in his career is somebody that I don't fear. I just respect him. It's not Gronk 3 or 4 years ago where you have to account and do want to double cover. I'm okay with Curse one-on-one with him. I'm okay with Neal one-on-one with him. If he beats you a couple times, it's okay. Last year I think he had like 650 yards or something like that. So that's like what Dalton Schultz does. It's like that type of production. So he's somebody to respect. You don't want to, put just anybody on him, but I'm not afraid of him at this point.
Big facts. So yeah, some of those matchups there. Now we flip it over to the offensive side. Okay, let's look at some of these Cowboys weapons. Getting Zeke involved here, right? Getting and for us, we've talked about this behind the scenes. For us, it's not so much as a battering ram, right? We want him kind of out in space, right? Getting some stretches, getting some passes in space. Let me go that way. But let's get more particular to our 3 wide receivers. Matto, you brought up a good point about a particular cornerback that we should throw at. Well, I think you said, what was it, 16 times?
I said, we should target him at least 15 times.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, talk about that. That was funny.
Yeah. So one of their cornerbacks, and he's a starting cornerback for them. His last name is Murphy Bunning. Last year, he allowed a 77% completion rate, 942 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a 121 quarterback rating.
Oh,
he did get 4 interceptions, so he's very much a feast or famine guy. And as you heard, there's much more famine than feast there. So he's a guy that you should actively target as often as you can in the game. Davis gave up a lot of yards, but Davis is a little bit more dynamic. Carlton Davis, the other cornerback, he's the guy that's going to get more interceptions and be a little bit more consistent, but he still allowed 855 yards and 5 touchdowns. Literally, their secondary is susceptible to getting beat. It's just a matter of protecting your quarterback long enough to be able to take advantage of that.
And
we were on last night with the
out as well. I don't know if you guys knew that, but one of their starting safeties is out. So.
Yeah, and he was actually their best safety in coverage last year. Whitehead allowed 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, 86 quarterback rating. So he was their most consistent secondary player, and he's out. And again, we talked last night we were on a Bucs podcast, and he told us straight up, he was like, we have guys that can make plays on the ball, but they're not consistent and they're susceptible to getting beaten. And he said most teams tried to get out of the run too early, and he thinks if you're consistent with the run, you can take more advantage of it in terms of passing. But when we mentioned, we're not necessarily trying to throw 50 times a game. We're trying to get guys like Pollard and Zeke out in space and swings and, screen passes. And he was like, yeah, that's something that we did not do well last year. So hopefully Kellen Moore's listening to this because that works.
Well, and shout out to our guy Mike from Bucs AF over there on the Bucs Network, and he said directly, he's like, I pray that y'all run the ball 50 times and don't throw it. I mean, he literally said that.
Right.
For me though, what I do think about a little bit, and let me ask y'all, Spoonie, on that, and I'll start with you. The 12 personnel for us, right? Going back to attacking the middle of the field with Jarwin and Schultz, if they're not going to bring the pressure, we can block up the 4, but we can get Jarwin and Schultz out there in those seams, some nice throws for Dak, get things rolling. For me, I think that's a spot where they can really attack this defense a little bit. Spoonie, are you buying the 12 personnel? Are you looking for 11 personnel? What do you think, or what do you think is in best interest in what Kellen Moore needs to dial up here?
Oh, the pass. If you look into last season, I believe the Buccaneers ranked about 16 in the pass defense. He needs to get very aggressive with the passing game, and that could definitely help Zeke with the run game. Their run defense was very good. I think running backs averaged about 79 to 80 yards per run last season. But against the pass, they really struggle. So if I'm Kellen Moore, I'm dialing up that pass. very heavy because listen, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Schultz, Jarwin, these guys could definitely help out Zeke in the run game, and that's what we need.
Right, but are you thinking more 12, 2 tight ends, or are you thinking more 11, 1 tight end?
11, 1 tight end.
Okay, all right.
Which tight end?
Yeah, you want more Jarwin or more Schultz though?
Now, see, here's the thing. Y'all won me over with Blake Jarwin. BJ won me over with Blake Jarwin, but then Mary, we appreciate Dante and Schultz. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Schultz.
With Schultz. Going with Schultz. And the biggest thing too is this is a game where I think you have to pass the ball to open the run up. It's how I think. And I think another thing too that we have to look at is and it's been thrown out there a ton. Running the ball on first down is a great way to get your quarterback killed on third down. Okay, so I think
we've seen this for years.
Yeah, we've said this a time. Yeah, I've tried to show other people that said it besides us. Whether they buy it or not, it's fine. So throw on first down, run on second down is more of a winning recipe for us. I'm not saying that I want us to be in 12 personnel the whole game. But I tell you what, guys, I think 12 personnel can do the damage in the right way. And I do want to see us dial that up, maybe 20, 25% on passing plays. I would like to see 12 personnel get enacted and force them to do some things. And I saw my guy, another Supermod Force over there, talking about, do you think the linebackers are too fast for swing passes? Well, I didn't say swing. I said passes in space, whether that's a screen pass, whether we're talking about some Texas, right? Some angles, some different things.
Wheel routes.
Yeah. Not just an easy. I'm not talking about dropping back and just swing it out and let them go do what they do. We don't want to do that. And we have the running backs to run those routes to get those things done. But my God, Dominic, boy, appreciate you, brother, as always. Mary, 12 personnel, 1 personnel. Well, actually, let me bring my this. He went with Schultz. Are you going more Schultz or more Jarwin week 1?
I'm going with Jarwin.
Okay.
I think he's a little bit faster, a little more athletic. So I like that matchup better for going 11.
That part. Okay. I've been a big buyer of Jarwin. I have been. And I wanted, look, I was the pitch train guy. I was on the train, because attacking the middle of the field is the right way. And I appreciate what Schultz did. And I love that he's on this team. Jarwin is able to do something more in the passing game than what Schultz is. Now Schultz can give them comebacks and different things that are great. But we're talking about the bigger guy, maybe a little bit more speed and whatnot down those seams, depending on what and the looks that we're getting. I like Jarwin as well, but I think both would have to be important, and hence why I'm on the 12 personnel a little bit. Professor O, you want to see more Jarwin or more Schultz? What do you think?
So I personally kind of am leaning towards Schultz, but this game I think Jarwin is the guy that's going to make the bigger plays. I think that Schultz is a more consistent blocker. He's a little bit more Jason Witten-ish, where he's reliable, he's going to get open, he's just not going to make a lot of big plays, and then Jarwin kind of has that dynamic factor where he can do that. But a team like Tampa Bay, where you have a 5'9" safety, and I love Winfield, but he's 5'9".
Jarwin's we all love Winfield here.
That's a huge difference in height. Yeah. That's a huge difference in height right there. So when you have a play action where you have Zeke or Pollard hold up the linebackers just for that split second that they have to, respect the run, and you have that seam, that space right between the linebackers and safety, you can't tell me that Jarwin's not going to make plays right there in that space. And again, Winfield's a good tackler, but he's giving up 7 or 8 inches of height there. Right. That's a big difference. And I know height's not everything in football. When you're 5'9" covering a 6-footer, it's okay. But when you're 5'9" covering a 6'5" or 6'6" guy, you're going to lose some of those jump balls. It's just natural. I would want to take advantage of that. And I think that Jarwin adds that. So I think this week I'm probably leaning more towards a 50-50 split with them. If we're not in 12 personnel, I want Schultz in to help, especially on Colin's side, just as he kind of acclimates back into it in terms of blocking. And then I think the Jarwin's going to be more dynamic in the pass game. So I'm hoping we utilize both of their strengths and don't, make it too obvious that when Jarwin's in, it's passing plays. So obviously he has to block some.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I was going to say, man, not too obvious, Don't red ball this thing, kill him more. Yeah. Little close to the vest a little bit, if you will. But now, okay, so we got our wide receivers. We know who we need to target at cornerback. We know they got a safety coming out that's not going to play. Who's their best cover safety? We talked about attacking the middle of the field via Jarwin, Schultz. We haven't talked about Pollard, though. Is there really a role in this game for Pollard that y'all think? Is there an amount of touches maybe that you're thinking? Or do you think, hey, man, Pollard just needs to not be involved at all. Like, what do y'all, Spoonie? Pollard need to get involved here a little bit offensively, or are you think this is maybe a game but it's not for him?
No, listen, it'd be the perfect situation for him. Linebackers would be hard to cover for him, especially if the Bucs are playing that 3-4 defense. You're going to see a lot of pass rush. Listen, you can do a lot for screens. I've always screamed out that there's certain plays that I'd rather for Pollard than Zeke because he's more explosive, and we could use Zeke just to hammer it in. So yes, they should be using Pollard a whole lot in this game outside of the pass.
Okay, Mary, Pollard cut a rollout for him. You got an idea about how many touches perhaps that you want to see him get?
I mean, yeah, I exactly what Spoonie said. He's shifty. He's good at avoiding the tackles. He's elusive. So yeah, I mean, I want to see him. I think the odds of us seeing him, unless it's winding down and we've won the game or something, are very slim. Right. Just because. I mean, Zeke is Zeke, and he's slimmed down. Obviously, that's a big selling point for them. And even before that, Pollard was barely getting a lot of touches. So I think what's going to happen is we'll see Pollard towards the end of the game, and he might score a late one, just because it might really be needed, whether we're losing or winning. And but yeah, I would love to see him even early on, just to switch it up a little bit, because he's shown that he's earned it, that he can do it.
Right. Professor O, is there a lane here for Pollard? What do you think?
I think there is. I'm going to slightly disagree with Mary, but not too much. The main reason I'm looking at it is this is obviously a game where we're going to need a lot from Zeke, not just running the ball. Zeke and pass pro is going to be probably the most important thing we have from him, helping out with that inside pass rush. And it's asking a lot from a running back to carry 25 times or get 25 touches and then also be a heavy contributor in pass pro. So I think that Pollard's going to have to play at least probably 3 full series. Right. I don't know at what point of the game, but they're probably going to bring him in to spell Zeke. And having that change of pace is important too, especially because he gives you a little bit more of the stretch and outside capabilities with the speed that Zeke doesn't. And I don't want to say that because Zeke looks faster this year, so maybe Zeke could do that. But again, you're going to need spells, and Zeke's always been a guy who I think does a pretty good job of monitoring himself through the games. We've seen him take himself out in situations because as fans, we're like, what are you doing? You have to stay in there. You're Zeke. But at the same time, if you're 60 or 70% and you need to step out, I'd rather you do that and get the breather than, have a costly fumble or something and get hurt. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would say probably the magic number is 10 to 12 touches. I don't really care how you break it up, carries, pass, receptions, whatever.
No kick returns? 20. What about kick returns? Does that count?
not counting that. And he's probably going to have to play 20 to 24 plays, 20 to 25 plays, something like that. Right. That puts Zeke at 40 to 45 plays, something like that.
Yeah, and here's the reason why I kind of brought this up, because I went back. I said, well, Kellen Moore's the offensive coordinator here. We played a team on the road last year, opening up that was very good in the Rams, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, well, what was the breakdown last year? And the breakdown was,
didn't we play the Rams at home? Here?
No. We played Rams and we opened up the stadium. For them.
So fun.
Yeah. So the breakdown was Zeke had 22 carries and 3 catches for 25 total touches. Pollard had 2 catches and 2 runs, right? And that turned into, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Dak had like 39 passes, I believe, that game. If I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. I think it was around 39 attempts. 25 or 39 attempts. So again, maybe not quite the balance you're looking for, but I'm looking at what did we do coming out week 1 last year versus a very strong front, right, with the Donalds and the Brockers that was there. He's gone now, but who they had up front and how did they attack it? And it was Zeke 22 times running with 3 catches. And why I want to ask about Pollard, because see, I'm of the same ilk. I would even like to see some Pollard and Zeke on the field at the same time, even. I would like to see some of that, even just to give them some ideas where they have to think and pause before they can just react, if you will. But again, it just came down to Pollard had 2 catches, 2 rushes, and that's it. There's not enough balls to go around. We do kind of understand that, right? We do understand that. But one of these things, and depending on how this game goes, I do think you need more than 4 touches for Pollard this week. Maybe not every week, but I do think this week you might need 4 touches or more than 4 touches for Pollard. But I just want to kind of, as we're going into week 1, let's mirror what Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy did week 1 last year and bring that to a fold. Nick Mitchell with the question. Do y'all see Zeke rushing for 100 yards against the Bucs? Mary, do you think Zeke's going to go for 100?
Maybe total yards.
Not rushing? Okay. Maddo, 100, yes or no? Just is he going for 100?
I don't think so.
All right. What about you, Spony? Is he going for 100 yards rushing?
No.
Okay. I mean, and look, not that it's the same thing. We're just going to mirror off of what the Rams did and what opened up against the Rams last year. 22 carries for 96 yards, 4.4 average and a touchdown. So he was close. We think he's in better shape. I think it depends on this. Can he go for 100? I think we would all say yes. There's a possibility he could. Do the Cowboys get up early and want to salt the game away? I think that's when he would get over 100, right? I think that's where it's at. I think we kind of all are on the same page where we're going to throw the ball a little bit more, but not in the idea of airing it out, in the right idea of, hey, some of these passes are going to be identified as runs, if you will. Maybe a bubble screen out here to CeeDee Lamb, let him go get loose, different things of that ilk. But yeah, absolutely. I would love to see Zeke go. I mean, who here doesn't want to see Zeke go for 120 yards, right, and a couple of touchdowns? I mean, hey, feed him. I mean, hey, if he's eating, feed him. Yeah, I mean, if he's out here gashing him 4, 5, 6 yards a carry, hey, look, I'll turn on. I'll go live quick and say, run the damn ball. He's, yeah. But I mean, what's a kind of, the game plan will have to dictate and see what happens there. Gun to the head, I don't think he's going to go for 100 unless we're up and we're going to salt the game away late. I think this is one of the game where your guys on the outside blocking up is going to go do some things.
And but just real quick, we looked it up and chatted about it internally in our group, so we'll just share with you guys too. Last year, the Bucs allowed one 100-yard rusher. It was Dalvin Cook, and he ran for, I think it was 102 or 104 yards. So he just barely got there. I think he did it on 22 carries. So, I mean, it's doable, but it's tough sledding against them. And again, Zeke having 80 or 90 yards is still a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Against that run defense, because that's what they were giving up for entire teams rushing for games. So, just keep that take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of fans will, kind of look at these numbers like quarterbacks have to have 300 yards and running backs have to rush for 100 yards for it to be successful. And that's not always the case. It's going to be, kind of shifted depending on the quality of opponents you're playing. Yeah,
big facts. And it's an uphill battle with that front. We kind of know that. We kind of understand this. Kind of what we kind of dictated and talked about, throughout here tonight and on prior shows and our conversations. So with that being said, guys, we kind of touched this, touched that. I don't want to get into who do you think's the better coach and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's whatever on that, right? Because that's just too fluff. You got 2 Super Bowl winning coaches on both sides. That's what it is. So guys, it leaves us with this. After we finish up and the clock's hit 0, give a score if you want to. If you don't want to give a score, that's fine. Do you think the Cowboys do you think the Cowboys are going to walk out of Tampa with a W or an L? Professor O?
I do.
Okay.
And I'm taking off my cowboy shaded glasses, the clear eye view.
Put the Kool-Aid down. Put the Kool-Aid down.
And I'm looking at it objectively, saying most of the time when you have a team opening up at their home stadium, Super Bowl champs, getting crowned, getting their rings that night, it's a big deal. It's easy, even for pros. It's easy for people to get kind of caught up in things. And then, week 1 and 2 really league-wide, no matter if you have a preseason or not, or how much your starters play in preseason or not, is a little bit more rusty, sloppy football just because players are playing significant snaps together for the first time outside of training camp against an opponent. So you're going to see, if you're going to play Tampa Bay, playing them week 1 is probably when you want to play them, because if we played them week 8 or 9, is probably a completely different conversation we're having gearing up for that game. So I think this is a game where you can kind of catch them at the right time before they're in mid-season mode, because they started out slow last year. They struggled and lost week 1. And it took them really 12 weeks before they kind of hit their stride. I think they'll hit it a little bit quicker this year. But I think early on, I think we can win this game. I think it'll be a close scoring game. 41-14, D-Town, sign me up for that. I would love that. I'm thinking a little bit lower scoring just because
I would be
you don't see a lot of
something like that happens. Lord,
Hey, look,
week one, you don't see a lot of
hey,
high-scoring games.
Mary's gonna be drunk if it's 41-14. I'm telling you right now.
I'll be unbearable. Oh God, I'm gonna have to
me
We'll say
too.
21-17. We'll go with that.
21-17. All right, 21-17
Cowboys
for
win.
Professor Cowboys win. All right, Mary. What about you? The Cowboys winning? They losing? What do you got? I know you're not a score. I know you're not a score person.
I actually got one this time.
Oh, new year, new you. Spoony, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Mary has a
I
score
don't know
for
about
us.
every week. I don't know about
That's
every
new.
week. But
Okay, that is new though. New year, new you. Okay, Mary, I'm so excited about this. You never really give us a score. This is great. What do you got for us?
yeah, I mean, echoing a lot of things that Matt said. But also, I mean, I think a big thing that a lot of people are doing is they're remembering Tampa Bay from demolishing that line full of backups against Kansas City. And that's all they're thinking about is they held Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and all those weapons and this great coach. They helped them all to 9 points in the Super Bowl. What it was, I guess it was 9 points. Yeah. In the Super Bowl. That's all people are thinking about. And so they're like, oh, there's no way that the Cowboys can do anything to beat that. I think that's what's on a lot of people's minds because people are full of recency bias. And they forgot that, the Cowboys have some very comparable weapons to a team like that. And, not only that, they're all healthy now. They're all healthy. And they're not slouches. One thing that's odd that we've all noticed over the years as Cowboys fans is that when everyone counts them out, that's when they try to act like we don't pay attention to the media. We just worry about our locker room. When everyone counts them out, that's when they go out there and they really just light somebody up. So I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but we win 31-27.
31-27. Let's go. Spoony, is this a Cowboys dub or a Cowboys L?
Oh, Cowboys W all the way. Cowboys winning this game 27-24. The last time, I believe it was 2013 or 14, if I can remember, the New York Giants was getting their rings. Monday Night Football, I was there live. And we went in there and went to work.
Yeah.
So if anybody want to bring up history about jerseys and X, Y, and Z, that's close. Bring up, we could beat the best when they get their ring week one.
Yeah. I look, and let me double down on that. So I think this is a W for the Cowboys for a couple of different reasons. Like you can go back to whenever the Cowboys, Ware had the neck injury. We're going out to the 13-0. Saints, no way we can win. Right. We go in there and win. And the one thing we know about Cowboys throughout our history, especially recent decade or so, games that we can't win, we win. That's what everyone says. You can't win. Oh, yeah, you're going to win. Or we can't win, we win. The games we're supposed to win, we might drop them. But here's a little bit of knowledge. Let me get my Professor O on. Let me get here real quick. Let me get some stats here real quick, okay? So the Cowboys are 3-0 all time, opening up against defending Super Bowl champions. Okay? They say, well, Knicks, hold on now. But how many times was that on the road? Glad you asked. Because it was 2 times on the road, only 1 time at home. Then they would say, well, Knicks, but we're in the blue jerseys, though. The blue jerseys. Well, dadgummit, 2 of those games was in blue jerseys as well. So we're 3-0 against defending Super Bowl champions, 2 times on the road, 2 times in the blue jerseys. We're going to make it 4 for 4. And we'll win it 27-21. We're going to see a star born when it comes to this young lion getting uncaged in Micah Parsons, and I can't wait. So
4 for 4, and then we go to Wendy's after.
Hey, 4 for 4 in Wendy's for the dub. Let's go. 4 for 4 for the dub. Let's go. With that being said, it's a clean sweep here on this panel. You're rocking with us for going to our 3rd year. We appreciate y'all so much. Man, we are so happy to have Matt on. Matt O here for the 1st season with us rocking. But y'all know what time it is. We're 58 minutes and 51 seconds in. Y'all know what y'all tune in for. It comes at a certain time. Mary, go ahead and get the clock ready. Go ahead and get the clock ready. Y'all know every week when we do the preview show, we got a lot of content coming from y'all this time. BTW, real quick. Let me sell some. Let me selfless plug. We got some more content. We're going to be doing PFF risers and fallers every week as well. This year, I know we're typically on Tuesdays. We've been there for 2 seasons. We switched. We're sticking to Wednesday nights, 8:00 Central. Every week you can log in. We're going to be here, but we're going to give you some other content on the backside. We're going to give you the PFF risers, particularly for the Cowboys, up, down, week to week. We're going to have a good time with that. We're going to try to plug you with some early morning shows as well. We got some things cooking. Stay tuned, but you got to hit that sub and that bell to know when it's going to drop, okay? But with that being said, Mary, do you have it ready?
It's ready.
All right, Spoony. Do you need full screen? Do I need to give you full screen? I think let's get full.
He has to see the clock, though.
Yeah. Well.
Can you do 2 screens?
Hold on. Wait. I don't know. Can I? No, it ain't gonna work. Hold on. There we go. Wait. Hold on. Let me get Spoon up here though. Hold on. Let me freak it. Hold on. Let me. No. It ain't going. Dadgummit.
Just do full screen, and Mary can just speak up.
All right, Spoon. Let's give Spoon that time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they're ready for you, Spoon. Now they're ready. Hold on. Let me get you that full screen. Oh, wait. Don't start him yet. Spoon, you're on the clock. Let's go.
Ooh.
You know what? No, I can't do it like this. Hold on.
Oh.
Spoonie, let me pause because I want you to start over.
I don't know what you're doing. What?
Uh-oh. Ready?
All right, Spoon, you ready?
He's so dramatic.
Let's go, Spoon. Let's go, Spoon.
Oh.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, let's do this.
Leadership is a matter of having people look at you to gain confidence. If you're in control, they're in control. Great quote by Tom Landry, former Dallas Cowboys head coach. When I look at leadership, I see Dak Prescott. I see the leader that's going to gain the confidence from the players around him, whether they're star players, whether they're backup players, any type of players. Dak Prescott has been out a very long time, caged up like an animal, ready for moments like this to show the whole NFL world that Tom Brady's time is up and Dak Prescott time is now, ready to start and wreak havoc. Bad story last season, great story approaching. But we got a problem, Cowboy Nation. See, Dak Prescott cannot come on the field with pretenders. And I'm talking about pretenders who root for the star. He needs passion, leadership, focus, faith. He needs the Cowboy Nation truth to get around the Dallas Cowboys star and believe going forward. None of this crap about blue jerseys. You can't wear this. You can't wear that. X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, we need to become one under the blue star and go forward behind our quarterback and the Dallas Cowboys team. No pretenders.
Silence the cannons.
Silence. Hashtag silence the cannons. Light
Let's
it up
go.
with fires for our guy Spoon. You got something on your nose. You know what it is. Get that off your nose real quick. But silence the cannons. Mary's got the candle lit. Hashtag sink the ship. Hit the fires. Hit that hashtags. Man, y'all know what it is, man. We are less than 24 hours away from us taking over Tampa Bay. Man, I'm so excited. We all are. We know y'all are too, man. You know, hey, my guy EJ in the building, what's going on, nephew? Said Spoonie Hulk in the building. Hey, man, it's good times, man. Hey, look, man, it's just week one. Hey, it's just week one. Y'all know what it is. Man, we'll be here all year rocking with y'all. We appreciate y'all. Spread the word. Hit that sub. Share like the whole nine. Y'all see all of our Twitter handles. Hey, man, we got to get O up to 1K. We got O to 1K. He's right there. Yeah, we got O to 1K, and man, I just cracked over 12. I'm trying to catch Mary. Mary, what are you up to now? That gum, Mary. Slow down.
I think we're close. I'm at 1249.
You know what? Hey, man, if I get 5 people to go follow me for the first time ever, I will eclipse Mary. Don't look at her. Let me take you down real quick. Just follow me. Nah, I'm just joking. Man, go follow all of us on Twitter, man. We have a good time. We interact. Of course, if me and Spoonie any of us are in the right condition after the Tampa game, me and Spoonie usually do try to run the post game. I don't know after this first week. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we have some more stuff lined up for you on special, man. Guys, anything before we get out of here?
I just want to give a quick shout out to our boy Jay Tuck and SoFlo. They're going to be in the building tomorrow night, and Tampa are holding it down for Cowboys. So if you follow them, if you don't follow them on Twitter. I'm sure they're going to get some good shots of the field and walking in the stadium and all that. And hopefully we'll get a little montage of Tuck leaving the stadium, celebrating like he did in the Cowboys-Eagles game. So
man, that part. Mary, anything for the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This our season 3.
Rush, Rush, you missed us. We're done with the swear jar.
Rush.
We're reborn. We're not going to cuss this year, so we hope. We hope we're not going to cuss this. We're working on it. We're trying to be
Twitter
better.
And Facebook, but not online.
Yeah. I mean, not online. Yeah, my Twitter page. Look. In type form is fine. Online, man, we're going to try to kill. We're going to Spoonie. Anything for the people before we get out of here, brother?
6.
Yeah, 6. Let's go, Spoonie. Believe. I couldn't say it no better. As always, targeting all the way around. Go follow all of our social medias. We'll catch y'all soon. Go Cowboys. And like Spoonie said,